Uh, so welcome to another episode of School of Noble Thoughts show. And today I've got a dear friend whom I've been following his journey for quite some time now, for over a decade, I guess, and a serial entrepreneur and Marc Reis Vagedas. Have I spelled that? Have I said that correctly?
Almost, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Almost. So it's rice. It's actually
Marc Reis.
it's
Right.
that one letter in German alphabet that you don't find in the American or English alphabet, and it looks like a B for most people, but it's a sort of an S.
Yes, I'm sorry for
and
that.
That's why Reis Vagedas.
Right.
But
Sorry
all the
about
rest,
that.
Very nice.
We'll just
No problem.
apologies for that. So Marc Reis Vagedas is a specialist therapist for cognitive training, and he's a digital creator, MLM professional, leading an international team of more than 600 people now, building several passive income streams that allow him to live decent, generous lifestyle, as he says. And he's also managing, while he's doing these businesses of automated passive income streams, clinic for occupational therapy in his first self-employment for it.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from this, he's a Bitcoiner, little bit off into the crypto world, influencer, and is a husband of a beautiful and amazing wife, quotes as he says under his words, Jana, and a father of two lovely boys, Ilya and David, and he's living in the heart of Germany in a little village near Kassel. So Marc's basic motto in his life, with which he lives and abides by, is life is short, live your dreams. So not withholding anymore, I would like to welcome Marc Reis Vagedas on the School of Noble Thoughts show.
Thank you very much, Tapan. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Marc. It's so good to see you after it has been, I think, over a year. We had the last communication. So it has been a long time, and it's good to see you. So tell me a little bit about, for us to have more a light on your life. Where did it all start? What was your basic education, family, schooling? How did it all start for you?
Yeah, thank you. It's also for me a nice way to reflecting my life and my personal story. So I was born in Saarbrücken in 1970. That's 53 years ago. And Saarbrücken is the capital of one of the smallest parts of the Bundesländer of Germany, called the Saarland. And my father was an eye doctor, and my mother was a medical technical assistant, and then helping him in his clinic, working everything. So I would say I grew up like in middle class, and with primary school, and then college, and in Germany it's the Abitur, which then enables you to visiting university. But I never visited university. I did, but it was more on, I didn't go there. I just signed, I will be there, because my early days of adolescence were mostly my darkest days in my life. It was actually the time when I was mostly confused, when I didn't know what I really wanted in life, when I didn't know where to really go, where I was desperately seeking for a sense, sense of what does it all mean, of what is
Like
it all
every,
good for,
yes,
you know.
very, very true.
Like,
This must be, I think you must be around 16, 17 years.
yes,
Yeah.
this has been the age, and it's been going on because it was also the age when actually already starting from 13, 14, when life with my parents became more and more difficult.
And
And
what, in
you know
what way became difficult?
well, it became difficult in a way that I was wouldn't accept their rules the way they wanted me to accepting their rules.
It's
So
called teenage revolution. So,
exactly. So it was
okay,
actually a typical teenage revolution, almost something that any parent could experience with their kids
right.
in that age. My father was a very authority, so
Authoritarian, right.
authoritarian. Yes, thank you. So he wouldn't accept, other than his word. But teenagers love to discussing things. They want to bring in their ideas, of course, and they want to be seen in their way of what their gifts are that they're bringing to the world, and they want to be also I would say loved, even if they've done a lot of nonsense. Let's put it this way, right? And this was something that my parents unfortunately were lacking. They didn't really get into that idea that they could change things in their terms to
Right,
make the whole family life easier.
right.
So I started rebelling, I started revolting, I started to no longer doing whatever they wanted. So we had a lot of stress in our family, and so I knew what I wouldn't want, but I didn't know what I want. Also
Did,
typical
did that,
phenomenon.
did that, sorry to interrupt you.
No, no.
Did that bring you to something not ethical in your life at that stage?
Yes, yeah.
Streets or maybe bad companies, alcoholism, drugs.
Exactly.
Did you
Bad
face that?
company, drugs. Actually, of course, I would defend my friends more than anything else, because in my opinion, they were the right people for me, and I wasn't open anymore for whatever my mother or father would tell me that they don't like the company that I have chosen.
Hmm.
And so I did do drugs. Actually, when I come to America for the first time, we had a partner school, and I was a decent pupil. So, but I was able to doing that exchange visit so that I could stay for some weeks at the American school, which was in upstate New York, and also people of that pupils of that school came to our place.
Perfection.
You know, the exchange, and there I was like the punk, Lord, it was the times of new wave because it was the late 80s,
Right.
1980s, and that was like bands when Depeche Mode, the Sisters of Mercy, The Cure, and all these dark gothic style bands were coming up. And
Right. So
so
you became
people.
a part of a band. You
No,
joined some
but I
musical.
I love music. I love to listen to music. I love to dancing to music. But I never became a band member and playing my own music. I loved singing as well, but we just sang along the songs we were hearing and dancing. And yes, but people liked me there, and somehow I got into cannabis, marijuana, and so experience these kind of psychedelic or psychoactive substances, and which was too early. You know, I wouldn't be totally against it nowadays, but it's just not the good way between the age of 17 or 16 and 21, when your brain is still developing, you know, and
Definitely, definitely.
it's not the right
So,
time.
so, so, what was the turning point for you to move from that towards your you joined some medical
Professions,
cognitive
yes,
therapy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, first education was pharmaceutical technical assistant, which enabled me to working in pharmacies. I was still in that way of, you know, finding out a way of substances and how they, you know, I
How they're
don't
working.
how they're working, not only by knowing it and knowing the science of how they what they do with the biochemistry, also like what I experienced with them. But it all brought me in great trouble, and the turning point actually was I had to go into a hospital to what's it called, psychiatric hospital for a month, and then I found a new way in society, and I was already at the age of 24 then, so it was a long period of time that I was searching, and then I came back to my parents, and we and they changed, and then we discussed a lot, and finally we found through, let's call it my crisis or psychic illness that people would have called it. We found to the family peace finally, because you know, I hadn't been going home anymore from 18 when I was kicked out of my parents' house, and yeah, so
So
it,
you were kicked out
because I
because of
didn't accept their rules. Yeah.
accept the rules, and then you went into these the bands or the music and that lifestyle with.
Hmm.
Did you have, and was it due to the drugs and alcohol you were consuming at that time? Could that be the
Alcohol, I
reason?
wasn't consuming that much, but I think this was one big point, one bullet point. Of course, underneath that was all the search for acceptance, you know, was all
Acceptance.
the, so that was
Well,
actually
there is
what I was
always a
looking
reason
for.
for that. Yeah.
Also, I was looking for truth, you know, everything like in their let's say their bubble or their way of living life in that middle class medical or doctor family. um, on the one hand side, I learned a lot from my parents on how to communicating politely with other people and all this, but
Right.
but I was looking for something which would give me more sense of life, which would be deeper. You know, I wanted deeper connection to people, and I couldn't experience that within my family. And I thought I would be to experience it with drugs. I, of course, it wasn't a right way, but yeah, it's part of the
But
story.
that's
It's part
yeah.
of the
But the
story.
important is that you got the awakening at 24 years. So you went
Mhm.
to this hospital, and then what did you decided to? What was the pivotal moment when you started to go for the studies? What made you do?
Well, it was actually a really deep spiritual crisis, a really deep crisis of the ego, right? Because my ego was like dissolving. It's actually something that, in spiritual terms, many spiritual people are seeking for. It's like the one thing that there's this concept that the human ego is putting a lot like in between to the spiritual experience, you
Yeah.
know, of leaving duality, or, you know, because we're living in a dual world, and as there's the good, there's the bad, there's you know, so and it wasn't this some kind of a dilemma that I was living in my inner world that brought me to that crisis. And I had to relearn. So I lost my identity in some way. I would be, telling myself like a mantra anytime my name, and I'm born in Saarbrücken, and and my birth date, but it wouldn't tell me anything anymore. So and as I was going through that crisis, and as of course also medication was helping me to having less panic attacks and all this kind of stuff, and leaving my psychotic mission of what I was believing who I was, it was kind of Christian religious, also painted. So sometimes I thought I'm like a new messiahs, and then I thought I'm more like the source of all evil and the devil and all this sort of thing. So but who I really was, there was nothing of that anymore. So I went through this crisis, and I had to relearn how society works, how I would work inside society, because and this happened within this therapy in this clinic over the month. And then I started actually feeling my body. It was a lot through feeling my body and feeling my breath, feeling my muscles, started doing sports again. And
How old were you when you started doing sports again?
that was by the age of 24 to 25 then.
24, 25.
Mm.
So you had a reawakening basically at 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
That's where in the real way, if you would put it, that was the time when you had the renaissance for you. So it started for you again.
Yeah. And that's why I became a therapist, because I was really happy and grateful for all these people in the clinic who had been helping me, for these therapists. And I got to know occupational therapy there as well. I didn't even know the profession before then. And then I just tried it. I finished actually the education, because like the crisis had become in between. So I finished the pharmaceutical education, I graduated, and I was able to working in pharmacies. But I knew already after 1 year working there, I knew this
What did you graduate in?
It's called pharmaceutical technical assistant. It's like a 3-year education. Like a 3-year course, but a whole day course. So, with practical, what you do is after that education, you're able to either working in the pharmaceutical industry, or so the producing, or you would work in the pharmacies to giving out the remedies. And I have chosen that because I love people, and so I wanted to be in contact with people, and so that was.
So basically, that was 3 years of studies at 24, 25, and you're 28 now. What happens next?
Yeah, I'm working in a pharmacy. I'm having, contact with different clients every day. But all I do is I get the receipt of the doctor. I look it up. I go to the drawer. I pick the whatever, and I say some words on how to take the remedy. Or maybe I ask some questions, but that's it, and I give it away, and the next client is coming. And I'm realizing, no, this is not the right thing. This is not what I want to do for longer. I want to have deeper connection to people. I want to really helping people, And so I remembered that these therapists that were helping me in the clinic. And so I found out about occupational therapy and that education, which had been a 3-year course as well. By that time, nowadays, in Germany or the Netherlands, other parts of Europe, you can also study it at universities. But by then it was possible to just doing it on some private school. I did that for 3 more years, graduated there, and luckily I moved to Kassel then. So it's Saarbrücken is the southwest of Germany, very close to the French border. And then I was moving to the middle, to the center of Germany, which is Kassel. It's 200 kilometers up north of Frankfurt on the way to Hanover or Hamburg. And so I'm there, and then it was actually then my life started really, you know, then things really developed beautifully because I was lucky. I was finding a job in pharmacy in Kassel for the half day, and the other day I had found a job in a clinic, in a therapist place, to working as a therapist. So I was doing some years, I was doing both, and then I totally went to the therapy and did that the whole day. But then I stumbled into network marketing. That was actually like 2005. I was 35 years old then, and I was introduced to network marketing, and I found out.
When did you get married?
39. That was 4 years later.
So that was after the entrepreneurship, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were
Actually, no, sorry. I just brought things. With 39, our
you
first.
forgot your
I
first
forgot
wife, did you?
I forgot my day of marriage. No, I have it in this ring. You know, I can never forget it.
You forgot your first wife.
No, I just missed or exchanged the birth of our first son with the marriage. We married actually many years later, and maybe that's also part of my story because so you know we decided to having kids. That was a clear decision after 4, 5, 6 of relationship, of partnership. We were clear, okay, we want kids, and then we married in 2016, many years later.
Yeah, so no, by marriage I meant that did you have a family at that point when you were starting that? That was my point.
Exactly. Okay, then it fits.
So
I mean,
usually, I mean, so I'm looking at it from here that you have a day job of a pharmacist, you have an evening job of a therapist, occupational therapist, you call it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Occupational therapist. So you are already, your hands are full, and I mean, you don't. I mean, usually with so much of things in your plate, you don't have time for entrepreneurship to think about unless you have that urge of an entrepreneur. You know, something. Not everybody would like to do that. So, I mean, my experiences of Central Europe and even in Germany, how much I know, I have traveled across Germany. With the psychology of the Germans, in America, if you would have said in the US, in the Western Deep West, okay, yeah, so there is a passion, you know, you have to make the money, you have to build that multi-million-dollar company, you know, that thing, you know? But it's not something German. Okay, you're a middle-class person, right? You have 2 jobs, 2 things to do, and then suddenly you have this urge to build up the entrepreneurship in you.
I think it's a very good question, Dapan. Thank you very much for it. I have been thinking about this as well. I think it's all about the way your parents are growing you up. You know, it's all about the education that you get from your parents, and it's a question if your parents are talking about money with you, if they're talking about making deals with you, you know, all this. So this is something my parents never did. Well, the topic of money.
It was just in you, I think. It was there in you, somewhere lying within your DNA, and it just came out later. When you were 32, 33, somewhere like that.
When I settled.
Otherwise, you would have been a happy person, having 2 jobs, some income coming in, you have a decent house, you have children, and you would have left like that. But you wanted something more than that from your life?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's, I would say that that's the point when you entrepreneurship erupted in
Started.
you. And so what was that point? What was the reason would give for that? It was it family, kids? Why would you want to be more than what you were at that time? What was
Yeah,
the reason?
my kids were the most driving motor, the biggest factor, because I wanted to have more time with my kids, especially in the years of their childhood. And now that they're 11 and 13 years old, now it's their time of teenager beings, and that's where I want to have time, and I'm very, very happy I am having this time now. So I reached my goal because I
So you
wanted to
had,
do it
when you,
different.
sorry to interrupt you,
Mhm.
when
No,
you
it's fine.
were 32, 33, when you got into this businesses, different entrepreneurship ideas. So you had, what was the goal? Is to get the freedom so to be with your kids after 10 years.
Absolutely.
You had
Yeah.
that in you had that in your mind at that time, yeah?
I didn't have the kids yet, so I still had some time of
Sort of freedom,
development to that. Yeah, it was, but the goal was freedom always.
always freedom.
I'm a very freedom loving person, a very freedom loving man. Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen that in you. You have that in your. So I was just curious, from where did it come from, and at what stage it
At
came in
what
your life?
stage of my
What
life?
was the
Why?
trigger for that? So that is
Yeah.
what is. So basically, it was the kids you're saying, yeah. So that was your trigger point. You
To
wanted
doing
some.
something different than my father did, because my father was working a lot within his clinic. And then when he came home, he would just, want to have his time for himself, to maybe reading newspaper, but not, there was very little time for the kids. It went all to our mother, and she had the time, yes, but sometimes. But I definitely knew I want more time freedom for concerning the accompanying of my kids.
And your mom was also, she was a housewife, she was working.
Yeah, part time of the day she was working in the clinic of my father. Other time of the day she was doing the house stuff.
So it was,
Then when the clinic was working well, they would, employ somebody for the house keeping, and my mother would have some more spare time with us then.
so that created an impact on you, I think, that
Mhm.
less time spending with your parents, and you would want, that hollowness was there within you, you know, that vacant within your spiritual. So you went through all the life, all your 20s, changing all that, you did two studies, and then you wanted your children to not to go through the same what you felt.
Mhm.
Maybe
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
could be one of the trigger. So
Mhm.
I want more money, I want to build up something so that I can have freedom in the 40s, and
Mhm.
be with my kids, have a good life.
Absolutely. I've also been started to reading books by then, and maybe this is a very famous book in the niche of personal development and finances, of Robert Kiyosaki, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I've
yes.
been reading this book, and that taught me a lot. Then I've been reading T. Harv Eker's book, um,
Oh, you do that, yeah.
Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and all these and Anthony Robbins wrote a book on money. So I was working a lot on this then. That was by the age of 40, when the first son had just been born, and I ever since I'm trying to teach my kids how to think entrepreneurial, and how to managing your money already. Already as a child, you can learn to manage your money.
You're teaching your elder son with that.
Hmm.
You're already teaching him.
Yes.
So basically, Mark, you had this, I would say, you had this talent within you hidden all this time in your younger age, but you were not able to find it out that you have that entrepreneurship within you. And you came to know more about it, you felt it in the early, in the later stage of your life, basically.
Yes.
You could get that. I mean, so your son, you are trying to teach him now 11 years, so by the time he'll be 20, he'll have crystal clear thing to him. If he's an entrepreneur, he has all that genes already built into him, and he can come out of the of the nest of
Yeah,
parents and say, okay, I like this, I want to do this. So
exactly.
yeah, so
Thank
this
you,
was,
Dapan, for painting this picture. I can see clearly this picture. Yes, I think
yeah,
it'll be
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah, so I mean, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, right? It has to be there in your DNA. Otherwise, you can keep on. There are people like who keep on trying whole their life, and they keep on getting failures.
Yeah,
Some,
that's true. That's very
sometimes you're
true.
getting, but you
Yeah,
could, yeah. So not everybody wants to do that. I mean, you are
that's
good with nine to
yeah,
five job, basically. Go to a pub, have some beers, have decent
yeah,
life, have your pension, and then relax.
yeah.
There's
Have
life.
have this security in your life, of residual, plannable things that coming
Exactly.
as an entrepreneur. There's always ways, new things coming to your life, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that relaxed.
So
But the gain is very fulfilling. It helps us to inspiring so many more people, and also
exactly.
giving people their either employment, or as in the field of network marketing, the opportunity to building their business within your business, within your team, building the team bigger.
So I'll step back a little bit. So what was the first business you started with when so when your this entrepreneurial journey started?
Mhm.
As you said, in 40 you started the first, so you were doing a job till 40, taking care,
Exactly.
you have a
Yeah.
kid now.
Well, I bought the clinic. I bought my own clinic together with two colleagues, and
This
I
was when you were
started.
40 years, yeah?
This was in the 40s. Yes, it was 2010. So I was 40 years by then. And but when starting this, I had 3 employees. I started out with 3 employees, and I had enough, how do you say, enough clients, enough people coming in to feeding them as well and giving them work as well.
Yeah.
But I realized, if I want to scale up my business in this niche, then my work is going to look very much different from the therapist work I had been doing until then, because I would have to invent myself more as a manager and managing the therapists working for me in my clinic, and opening the next clinic and talking to doctors and all this sort of thing. And I realized this is not what I want. I want to be more independent, and I want to have an open market, because in the field of occupational therapy, you are just dependent on the prescriptions that the doctors are filling out, and you can only work. That's how it works in Germany. I don't know if it works like that in the whole of Europe.
I
But that's
think
where
it's the same. It's the
it's the
same.
same. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew, okay, no, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to scaling up my business, being a serial entrepreneur, being in the field of network marketing. And as I had been doing this already for 5 years, you can do that very nice sideways. Either you're employed or you're self-employed. You can, or even if you're a business owner, you could do a network marketing business sideways. And then I decided to do it professionally and to putting in more efforts and more time. and that's the way I started growing it then.
So you had the clinic, you were controlling the clinic as a business owner. Yeah,
Mhm.
you had your
Yeah,
employees, 3 employees there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you got into network marketing. You found
Mhm.
a niche there and you started
Yeah,
growing that.
first it was the health niche because I knew my way around in the health business, especially, you know, the supplements, because I was selling them in the pharmacies already in the years before. And I researched the market, finding out, you know, which supplements were sold in pharmacies and which would be on an open market, and what was the difference, you know, to MLM companies offering you these nutrition supplements and
Right.
in quality terms and all this. I knew little about network marketing yet. I was more you know, the expert in how do these substances work in the body. Why should I, you know, support my body with vitamin B or C or of this plant or that plant, you know, like.
So
Um,
what was the first MLM company you started with, if I may ask you?
yes, it was a German company called LR Beauty Systems. And
Okay. So
maybe you don't know it. In Germany, it's quite big. I think it already grew international.
I've heard of it, I think.
You
Is
heard
it?
it? Okay,
I've
you
heard
know
of
it.
it, I think.
Okay,
Yeah. I've
okay,
heard
yeah,
of this.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe through
Actually,
you,
they're doing,
maybe you
yeah.
had you through you in our, you know, in our previous communications,
Hmm.
but I've heard of this name. Is it still there in the market?
It's still there in the market. I only went with them for 1 year, and then I found a more a company that more pleased me or more that I like better. They were called New Ways years ago, 15 years. Nowadays, they're calling themselves Modere, and they're doing very good products as well.
Also health products, yeah.
Also health products, very great recipes, you know, in terms of oh no, I'm not getting the English word. In- in,
Don't worry,
bio
we can come back
uh,
to that later on. Yeah.
Bioverfügbarkeit. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't
So
matter.
it's yeah, no worries. Yeah.
The resorption is the word. The way the body, you know, takes it in. It's in order of the recipe that it is, you know, the chemistry has to be perfect for the body, that it's almost like with all the vegetables or the fruits, like our bodies have been used to taking all the little substances that build your body out of the organic fruit and vegetables that we eat. And if it's done, you know, in a recipe from some of this, it has to be most likely to nature. So and this is
Right.
the way they were organizing their
There,
recipes.
there are many companies in US now. I know there are a lot of
Mhm.
American companies who are
Yeah,
doing this, and
exactly.
basically it is for the people who are busy on the go. They don't have time
Hmm.
to cook, have breakfast, have lunch. You know, they are on
Hmm.
the process. Entrepreneurs, you know, the who are leading busy life. So there are sachets of these supplements, you know, which will have
Hmm.
everything what you would want of the
Hmm.
organic food would give you. So
Exactly.
basically, there are startups which have come up. So I think yours was more or less on the same lines, wasn't
Hmm.
it?
Absolutely, yeah. And it was an American company. They were based in Utah. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was good. You know, I developed myself there again, but I finally understood there that being successful in network marketing, in multi-level marketing, you have to sell the business opportunity. It's not you selling or recommending the products that you love. It's more recommending the business, and then building a consumer network of people who are, you know, who are ordering the products for themselves ever and ever again, because this is bringing the money. And Yeah, it took me some years again, but I found that out as well. It's all a part of, this is actually why I love network marketing as well. It's not something where you come in and you get rich. Of course, this is how it is, how it is sold by some people, but actually it's not the truth. It's more that as you start in and you commit yourself to to going through that process and learning how to building the business and how to building the network, you are developing yourself as a person. You are developing the way you talk to people, the way you are asking people questions,
Absolutely.
So this is actually the thing that is so beautiful about network marketing. If you're open to developing yourself, if you're open to change, because you have to try things in a different way every day, actually.
Every day, every time you speak to somebody. Yeah.
If something doesn't work, so you find out what works and how can you do it better, because it's never the other person's thing. It's always you who can do it in a different way. And that's what I
how old
learned
are
a
you
lot.
now, Mark? How old are you now?
I'm 53 now.
So you have been doing this almost 12 years, over 12 years now? Network marketing?
Yeah, even 18 years already. By the age of 35, I started. Yeah.
Oh, you started that. So that was the first company you said, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty long time, isn't it?
That's a pretty long time.
13 and 5 for almost 18 years you are doing this. And so what have been your experience through these 18 years or as a network marketer, as an entrepreneur? I mean, how many companies you have gone through, networking companies? I mean, not in the literal sense, just roundabout.
Like 5.
The 5 major ones you had, yeah.
The 5 major ones, yeah.
So you're still continuing with them till now?
Yeah. Since 3 days, I'm very 3 days, since 3 years, I am very confident and happy and grateful about going with one company that I actually have gotten to know 10 years ago. But since 3 years, I was first their client, but since 3 years, I'm working with them as an affiliate marketer. And this is all in the niche of financial education. It's all about managing your money, investing your money, and doing it in a way that the rich people have been doing it for centuries, no matter what crisis had been coming up.
And is it one of the financial gurus like Robert Kiyosaki or somewhere on those lines, Harvaker or somebody like that? I was going through your website yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw that you have you are promoting that education of Harvaker. So
yes.
are you? Is it you? This you're talking of right now?
This is not exactly what I'm talking about,
Okay.
because these are people that have inspired me very much, and that I have been learning from a lot. But a guy I'm actually working with now is a German guy, and he is his company is called VIP Group, which stands for Value Investing People. So and he's doing a lot of financial education in German. Yeah, so it's more for the German-speaking market that
so
I'm
there's no English variant to it. It's not global as yet.
As yet, it's not global.
Not global.
No.
Okay.
No.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Do share do share with us. Yeah. So when you have that going global, so that could be of interesting. But we'll put up the link to this German link company as well. So there are lots of people who might be get through to listening of our conversation today, and they might be speaking German. You never know. There are lots of them.
Yes.
So they might be interested.
And what I'm working on is that I'm just doing English subtitles for the German videos that we put in place.
Yeah, that's a great advantage. Yeah, people can, I mean, you don't have to speak, then you can read it. And I mean, basically now with this globalization, any language can be penetrated.
Yes.
And I'm not talking of AI. We'll discuss that some
Not
other day
yet.
with you.
Yeah, you're not yet talking of AI.
That's a whole revolution now. You don't know what's happening. And so I'm just astonished, I would say, with what's happening with this. And it's going to be a very, very interesting time, I think.
Yes, I think so too. It's very exciting. It's just amazing, It's something that you have been writing an article about it, and I have been reading this.
I got just
that came just out a few days ago, right?
Yeah, so I'll be putting across lots of stuff around that. I'm learning it. I'm going through some courses right now
Very good.
AI. Yeah. So because I think that personally, I know you are a very strong believer of cryptocurrencies yourself, and so am I. And I think that these things are going to take a big turn in the future.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, machine learning, artificial intelligence, they're just taking over everything. Cryptos. So the way we are going to do the things what we are used to till now, they will change.
Yeah, we have to rethink this. But on the positive thing, the beautiful side of that is that, again, it'll bring more freedom of time, it'll bring more quality of that human beings carry within themselves. It'll bring more empathy and all the soft skills that we can still get better and better in.
Yeah, but it's skeptical actually. I mean, this is a discussable topic. Did you watch that video I had put up in the blog post of mine, which I so
no,
if you
I've been only reading. I haven't watched the video yet.
Just watch that video.
Okay.
That's by an Israeli scientist, researcher. He's one of the leading guys in the artificial intelligence arena in the world right now. So if you listen to him, it's about 15 minutes of talk, 15-20 minutes, and you'll just have more idea on what he's saying. So it's not only simple that if what he's saying is that this has to be controllable, otherwise it can go out of your hands.
Yeah.
In the future.
But this is the biggest fear,
So you might have that, one of the Terminator. Sort of thing.
Or, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's like one of the biggest fears of mankind. Machines taking over. Or yeah.
Exactly. So what are the future plans of the growth in your industry? What are you looking at in the future? You've been doing this 18 years now. And you have been, can you call yourself successful in this?
Yes. I can call myself successful, as I have been helping many people on my teams to earning an extra income of like
you said you have 600 people, right, with you?
Yeah. So there's many people who are earning an extra income of several hundred bucks monthly, and there's people earning like 1,000, so 4-figure income already. And for some of these people, this is just enough. And then, of course, there's these people that I'm working closer together with, who are aiming for higher goals and who are going for 5 figures monthly. And so I'm developing myself for the 6-figure monthly.
6 figures. Wow. And this is all within Germany, or it's a global alliance you have?
Parts of it are international already, but most of them are still German speaking. So Austria and Switzerland as well. but yeah, some people, as I speak fluently, or yeah, let's say okay English.
But you do have international also.
I do have
You're doing
international
that
as well.
also.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And I
good.
like that, because my vision is that I am, I'm traveling to all continents, and I'm having teams on all continents, and I can do trainings there with my business partners and having good times as well. And them showing me around, so I'm getting to know the culture and everything better through these business partners than
Yeah.
as a tourist. This is like what I love most about
You
networking.
feel, yeah, you do not feel aligned in anywhere you go. You
Mhm.
feel at home because you feel that, okay, I have people here who are my partners.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
friends,
Yeah.
partners. So you
Yeah.
belong to, you, that belongingness. I do that. I do get that same feeling. So I
Mhm.
know from where you're coming from. I mean,
Mhm.
I go to Germany, I don't feel aligned to Germany because I know that, okay, this is the place I've spent lots of time in my life.
Yes.
So like I go to European different countries. I know that I've been here before. Yeah, so you don't, you have somebody, if you pick up the phone or send a message, you'll always have somebody in that area, you know.
Exactly. It's just
and and that
really
becomes
beautiful.
more when you are making money from that market, and
Mhm.
so that thing is, yeah, that's there. So uh, Mark, what is the future? Where are you heading to?
Well, the next step will be so I'm already having business partners in Dubai and on Cyprus, and I want to I'm thinking about building companies, to also to having like a company construct, to managing also taxes easier and this sort of thing. So I'm getting my head around
Texas? What
taxes. Yeah. Yeah.
was
Mm.
that? Sorry, I missed on that.
I said I'm how do you say, I'm researching or getting my head around different types of calculating and doing the taxes, because
Okay,
if you,
taxation.
yeah, if you're founding companies in different parts of the world, then you have more possibilities. So this is something which I'm researching at this moment now, and where I'm heading to. And in terms of my network
Tax.
marketing,
You call it tax optimization?
yeah, tax optimizations. Thank you. That was the word lacking me.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for some network marketing in that field or something, tech
No,
optimization.
this is not, no. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
just
what
for yourself,
just
just
for
for you.
myself. Yeah, just
Yeah,
for
yeah.
myself. Um,
But you would
no,
like to.
in terms of network marketing, I just keep on supporting my teams and people, so that in order them to growing bigger, which grows my organization. And there I'm going internationally because for example, I like Telegram very much as a funnel, you
As a
know,
funnel.
to on a social media funnel for my partners to onboarding their people. And you can do that very nicely, and I've done that in German already, but I want to do it in English as well for some of our product partners, which are which are
Non-German
settled
speakers.
non-German speakers. Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
So you would still like to be into the network marketing. You don't want to pivot into anything more than that in the future. I mean, do you have any vision, any goals for that?
No, no,
So,
no, I'm totally into this. I think I'll stick to this to the very end, because it just I found myself. I know I'm perfect in this place. I can develop further, and of course, it will enable me as well to visiting parts of the world, as we just said, where I wouldn't just want to do some holidays, you know. I want to be there training and teaching, and also getting to know more of the flavor of the culture through my business partners that will just come to my team, because it's happening already. You know, of course, I haven't built teams of that size of more than 600 people all on my own. It's my partners and their partners people. So I'm getting to know new people just through building my network marketing business.
Are you going Asia also, apart from Middle East?
Yes, I would love to go Asia, because I haven't been to Asia yet. And I have many friends who have already been there, who've been showing me photos. You know, I've been watching films. I've really been into Bollywood movies for a time. I loved watching them. I want to go to India. I have spiritual teachers from India where I want to go to these ashrams. So Asia.
You have been there to India once, haven't you?
No, I have
You
never
have never
been
been
there.
there. Okay.
No, I
Okay.
have only one of my spiritual teachers who really yes, inspired me a lot. He's looking at me now. Maybe I show you a photo. Is
Okay.
Sri
He's the
Kaleshwar.
What's
Yeah,
his name?
Sri Kaleshwar.
Okay. What is? I've never heard of him.
He went to Mahasamadhi in 2012, so he's not living on Earth anymore. But
Sorry to hear that. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it was his choice, right? Like the gurus, the advaitars, they leave their body when they think it's time for it, and so yes. But he has built a in Penukonda, in which is close to Bangalore in India. He has built a huge soul university.
What's the name of the place in Bangalore? Said
Penukonda.
Penukonda. Yeah.
Penukonda.
So this is the ashram for that.
Yeah. So this is one place I want to visit as well, and yeah, different parts of India, also Bali, Thailand. So I will definitely go there.
And
Also, Malaysia.
do you have any business like from your companies? Are they already into the network marketing in these countries, like in India and Thailand? You said there are
No,
some
not
people
yet.
who are
No, not yet.
nobody. Yeah,
But
but
it's open for them.
that would be a good place for you to start with.
Mhm.
If you are you know a lot about the Indian
Culture.
spirituality, and you're
Mhm.
into that, so that will be a sweet spot for you to start a business as well there, and travel and do both the things, and it's a huge market. It's India is a lot of opportunities are there. You
Yeah.
could definitely, you should give it a try. That will be a great, India and China are big way. There's a lot of potential in the future.
Mhm. You mean like just traveling there, just flying there, and doing some talks and starting it
Yeah,
up a little?
we might want to go through another talk maybe with you. We'll just go on a call and you explain
Mhm.
me what exactly, and I might be able to give you some links or get involved with you in some way or the
Mhm.
other, and we can
Thank you
see
very
what we
much.
can do together, right?
Yes.
If just explain me more. We'll not at this podcast call what we are, because the
Sure.
theme of the call is not to get into a business. It's in general we
Exactly.
are interested or your entrepreneur journey.
Yeah.
But next, let's go on a call and we'll talk on that, and
Yeah.
maybe there's always a possibility for
Yes.
future for that. And why not? If you are successful in Europe, in the West, why can't you be successful with the same capacity in other parts of the world?
Sure, I can. And Tapan, thank you. Let me say thank you very much. And I mean, we didn't talk in advance to this podcast, and this has helped me a lot. Since 2 days, I've been thinking, what am I going to to tell in the podcast. And I really, really appreciated you asking me all these
No, 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 no.
questions.
Thank you, Mark. It's that you took out time for me in a very short notice, because
Mhm.
I know as a successful entrepreneur, you are always busy. You got your agendas on the weekend. You took time. Thank you for that. So moving forward, I would like to ask you, what are the 5 key topmost tips which you would want to recommend anybody listening to our talk with you today,
Mhm.
coming out, uh, from you with your experiences in life,
Mhm.
successes and failures? What would
Mhm.
you give the 5 most important tips for anybody from your life should
Mhm.
be?
Thank you. Well, as you have been listening to my journey and also to the parts of my early adolescence and crisis, um, the biggest thing to me is breathing. Breath is life. The moment you breathe in, if you come back to your breathing, that is something that has been, and perceiving your body, then that is something that has given me confidence, that has given me grounding, that has given me, more awareness of of how I feel and who I am. So I've been always been coming back to breathing whenever I'm into stressful situations, and not taking decision. Then just breathe, just and allow yourself to releasing or to coming up whatever the feeling is, to getting aware of what the feeling is, and then after reflecting this for a while, then starting to thinking about decisions. So never do take decisions in high emotions or low emotions. Always rather feel the emotions, go through it, and then later you will be able to take a decision, and make sure you always stay true to your own heart, to what is your truth. And I think anybody knows his truth inside himself. I mean, I learn a lot from experts, and but people also get confused from experts. And so always come back to yourself and what has been true for you within your life, and all the experiences that you have been doing. And this is where I take my power from, and this is what I recommend other people to taking their power from.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Everybody is unique.
Everybody is unique, and
Everybody is
everybody
unique.
has its own story, and his own way of looking into the world. And there's a saying, you don't see the world as it is, you see it as you are.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, that is a powerful advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is stay flexible. Next one is, go with changes. If you love, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to have this ability of being flexible, of changing things, within your company or within yourself, because it's always trial and error. Of course, you learn from. It's good if you have mentors, but you always learn through your own mistakes. So mistakes are something good. Mistakes are worthy. They're important.
They are part of the
Yeah,
success
they're part
process.
of your success. And so never ever be afraid of changing yourself or changing things within your company, because it could be your biggest opportunity. What if you don't do it? If you don't do it, you don't find out. So always keep finding out. And yeah, and then, which is one of my big topics, as I had this crisis and I had this feeling of having lost myself, I've been asking myself a lot, so what is it that really makes the difference in the world? And in my opinion, it is, and in my experience, it is the can you call it amount or the intensity, or let's say, yeah, the amount or intensity, the love that you can feel for yourself and for other people. So Jesus said, love yourself as you love somebody else, or love your next. No, I don't know how it is in English. I'm coming with a
Yeah,
quote of Jesus, but
love
as
yourself
you,
as you would love uh, your
others,
partner or
your
others.
partner, your
Yes,
neighbor. Yeah. So loving yourself and treating yourself and your body just like a good and close friend. This is something that which is a journey, because yeah, it helps me thinking about what really nourishes me. What is it that it nourishes me? And the moment I know it better, so for me it is, being in nature, being with people that I that have similar opinions and values, similar values, and who love to celebrating life, who love music, who love dancing, who love expressing themselves. So these kind of people. And so, but everybody has its own thing that nourishes him. And so the tip, or the recommendation that I would give is like, find out what it is that nourishes you. And where you get in to the flow, or however you call it, where you get in a high emotional state, or I'm a nice feeling.
That's such a powerful advice. These are golden words. Thank you, Mark, for that. They are really indeed a powerful. I can see the value what you are putting into that, and they do play an important role in the life. So tell me, what is one advice you would give if you had to give to a upcoming entrepreneur from your entrepreneurial journey of 18 plus years now?
Yeah,
What would
honestly,
that be
I
for
can only,
any entrepreneur? We're not
yeah,
talking about life, we're talking about entrepreneurship.
sure. But I think, as as my entrepreneurial journey, as I was telling, is mostly in the field of network of MLM entrepreneurship, which is different, to the let's call it the classic entrepreneurship. Because as a classic entrepreneur, I have no experience. But very little experience. I've been starting my clinic with 3 employees. I have been then quitting them, and doing it on my own, because I said I want to go the MLM entrepreneurial way. But I know, from friends that I have who are entrepreneurs and who have been founding their companies, and then putting all these people to work, and also carrying the entrepreneurial risk, of being able to paying their salaries, and even if they get sick and they won't come to work, and all this, what is on the shoulders of every classical entrepreneur. Because in MLM, you don't have that kind of risk, because it's all independent distributors within your teams, and that there's big fluctuation. People are quitting, new people are coming in, so it's very much different to the classical entrepreneur who is who's giving work to people, and carrying all this entrepreneurial risk. So these people, I can hardly give advice, because it's not my field. I wouldn't want to give advice,
but you entrepreneurship is a part of your, when you're doing MLM or any other niche, that's still a part of, there is a part of you which is an entrepreneur. So that traits are always there. You have to you see the leading. You could be into multiple niches, or you could be into one niche. So you have entrepreneurs like Richard Branson, let's say, for example.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now
so he's got hundreds of them, but he still has a basic traits are there. So you could not start MLM without that trait in you. The first is the desire. Yeah, you had the desire. So that's one of the traits. Another person would say, okay, you would have to, if you go, talking of Robert Kiyosaki in his book, the which one was that? Rich Dad Poor Dad. He said that you have to be smart at the finances rather than working hard. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that you don't have to be working hard. If you don't work, nothing will happen, right? But you have to be little smart with it also. Otherwise, you will be doing it like he said, my traditional father was there and my rich father was there.
Rich father, yeah.
So you have basically some trait which you would no matter MLM or not MLM or any other entrepreneurship, but that trait you like the most.
Okay, yes, yeah. Now you got me. Now you got me thinking of something.
We want that trait which you love the most, which you would say to any person who wants to get into entrepreneurship, that this is the trait Marc Reis Vagedas has to say.
Yeah. Okay. Then it's the following. Think very closely, very intensively about the kind of people that you want to be working with, either if it's in your company, right? Or if it's in your network marketing team. To me, I'm only looking for people who have made their heart to the boss. So people like me who are freedom lovers, people, of course, it's like you also need people who do, who have qualification, qualities in terms of management and structure and all these things. But like the people who are able to holding a vision and working their mission, this is the, let's say, the class A people that I would be looking for. So this is people who are inspiring, who are empowering, and who are compassionate, who are authentic. Authentic would be the word. Yeah.
Well, that's powerful advice. Thank you for that. Marc, if this would have been your last day in this world, and you have to give one advice before you leave the world to your kids or to anybody to the world, what would that advice be? Just one advice before you leave this this world. What would that advice be to the younger generations?
It would be whatever you love, whatever you like, whatever pleases you, really enjoy it. If it is the book, read the book. If it is the dish, eat the dish and enjoy it. Be in that moment totally. Don't do 2, 3, 4, 5 things in the same moment. Just concentrate on the one thing that you really enjoy. If it is singing, sing. If it is dancing, dance. If it is eating, eat and enjoy with all your senses on your tongue, and yeah, be in the moment.
Be in the moment. Lovely words, Marc. Marc, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Dapan.
After such a long time.
Same here.
And my friend, I am honored and indeed thankful for your time today, that you took out the time on my first request to you, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk soon. Thank you very much, Dapan. Thank you.
You take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.